Hey guys, this is Pastor Chris on a Thursday, and I just want to do a quick YouTube check-in. I hope you guys are doing well and been enjoying the content on our YouTube channel. If you guys have not subscribed, we invite you to subscribe to our City Church YouTube channel. So we have short messages that we upload. There's messages about our church, and there's also just encouragement like today's talk. Maybe like me, you've struggled with this tension as a person of faith. What's God's responsibility and what's mine? For much of my life, I've really wrestled with that tension. I understand that God, as the creator of everything, God as the sustainer of the whole universe, God whose glory is above all other things, has precedence, and there's nothing that I can do to change that. And yet we also see in my own life, in my own past, as well as we look at the pages of Scripture and the real people, the real heroes, as well as the pitfalls that we've seen people fall into, we see also the side of personal responsibility. Have you ever wrestled with that tension between God's, what we call God's sovereignty or God's control, but also our personal responsibility? Because I know I have. Maybe right now you're in the midst of trying to bring out this dream, and you know there's this tension between where you are and where you want to be. And you're wondering to yourself, what is my job and what's God's job? Maybe you're frustrated because you're stuck somewhere, and again you're wondering, should I force it or should I be waiting upon God? Or maybe right now you're just facing opposition from people, or opposition maybe it's just a distractions right now, and again you're wondering to yourself, what do I need to do to get unstuck, to launch something new, to bring something to life, and how do I wait upon God in the process? Today, as I was doing our life journal, you've been seeing videos of this on our YouTube channel. We've encouraged you to start the process of life journaling throughout the summer. If you haven't seen that, go back to one of our previous videos that gives you instructions of how to do the SOAP method of Scripture, observation, application, and prayer. Today, as I was doing my life journal, I was reading in Nehemiah. And if you've ever read Nehemiah or never read it, I encourage you to read that. It's an incredible leadership book. It's about how a man sees a need and then through God's help is able to meet that need. Anyway, the verse I wanted to bring to your attention is in Nehemiah chapter 4. I want to read it. It's in verse 9. It says, Nehemiah prayed to our God. And then he asked the people to pray to our God. And then it says this, and guarded the city day and night to protect ourselves. So let me read that again. But we prayed to our God and guarded the city day and night to protect ourselves. Now that may not mean a lot to you out of this context, but what was happening at the time is that these two guys were trying to frustrate the plans of Nehemiah and the Jews to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. It was in shambles, it was in disarray, and because of that there was no security for these exiles who were trying to rebuild their lives, rebuild their city, and to have a sense of security with all these other nations and armies around them. And I love that verse because what it says in that one verse of Scripture in Nehemiah chapter 4 verse 9 is that the first thing they did is they prayed first. And if you've been following our Pray First campaign on our Facebook page or our Instagram page, you know that we've been trying to encourage you to not pray last or pray after you exhausted all of your options, but instead to pray first. So the first thing they did is they prayed to God. But then you notice the tension there. They don't just pray and just wait for God to magically do something. It says that immediately they addressed the concern. So they prayed to God, and then they guarded the city day and night from these people that were trying to hire assassins, bring a militia, bring another army against them. And so they did both. They prayed and they guarded the work. They guarded their city. So I hope that helps you today as you think about whether it's bringing a brand new business to life, whether it's trying to bring a completion to a degree to life, whether it's you're in this, again, tension between where you are and where you want to be, and you see all this opposition in front of you. There's a great answer to that tension. Pray first, and then do the work in front of you. Remove an obstacle. Get today's assignment done. Call those people. Send out that email. Follow up. Maybe get that web page up. Get the product more closely aligned to where you need it to be. It's both. It's pray first and then do what God asks you to do or God tells you to do, or maybe it's just obvious. Do the next thing, the next right thing in front of you. So I hope that's been encouragement today. We're praying for you, and if there's any way that we can support you, just leave a comment below. If this helped you or encouraged you in some way to think about this tension in a new way, let us know, and we would love to pray for you and encourage you also with the dreams that you're chasing. So that's it for today. Have an awesome Thursday and an awesome end of your week. We'll see you next time here on YouTube. Bye-bye.